Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new price action study. We're also going to be studying institutional order flow today. That all said, let's go ahead and get right into this. So currently we're looking at the high impact news drivers for today. Today was overall a very volatile day because of these news drivers, and definitely not a day that I would want to be trading. We'll take a look at that in just a moment here, but keep in mind we had at 8:15, we had non-farm employment change, 10 a.m., we had PMI, and we had FOMC in the afternoon. That said, okay, the highs for ES and NQ were formed at 9:15 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. and the lows were at 8 and 7:45 a.m. So that in mind here, the lows formed before the news drivers and the high impact news drivers essentially were bullish all day until the point of 9:15, which is technically after the day, but I've been marking it from till 12 o'clock midnight since it's a little easier, but I do understand that, those aren't precisely the levels or highs. So that all being said, we're going to go ahead and get into our charts. Let's start here on our institutional chart, or my institutional chart. I'm going to start studying institutional order flow based on, going through the core content, what I've been listening. So pretty much large institutions like these banks and just large funds, they use these higher time frames to move the market, and so we want to look at overall what price is doing. So on this time frame, we're mainly just going to be looking at those institutional levels of order flow. I'm going to point out what's relevant to me and my current understanding. Okay, so the very first thing I want to take a note of here is this monthly order block. Okay, so this is the last down close before an expansion move, and it is also with these relative equal lows, it's in a consolidation. This is a very just sideways price action. Okay, one of the requirements for that to be considered an order block is that we have that consolidation, all right, and then the expansion below it. And as you can see right here on the weekly, it does trade to the order block, so that is relevant. Okay, even though it may not look as refined here. Additionally, before our expansion move, we have this consolidation here. Look at the bodies, not the wicks. And if you notice, I am specifically marking the bodies because that's where a majority of the volume is. All right, so clean lows, clean highs. This is the consolidation, breaks out of it. The last down close before it breaks out, that would be our order block. And that is overall where we'd be expecting price to trade on the monthly. That's where we're expecting the monthly to go. Now, this is obviously counterintuitive to what I was saying yesterday, but that's when we're talking in terms of daily range, which we will go over in a minute. But on the monthly, we are expecting price to drive to those levels. And the reason I'm saying that is because we already hit this monthly order block, so it wouldn't make sense for price to go up here until it reaches that order block. All right, so let's go down to the weekly. All right, same concept. Okay, this is just more refined. I refined some of these levels, like that order block. All right, this order block we can, or sorry, that's just a little sell side, my bad. This is the order block I marked. Okay. It's a monthly order block. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with that one too much. It makes more sense to me to keep it where it is now. All right, let's go ahead and go to NQ. All right, so here we are, and we're on the monthly. This is the last up close candle before the down move. Let's refine that on the weekly because it does look a little choppy, right? Yeah, see, it looks a lot better on the weekly, doesn't it? So put it here. All right, so we have this consolidation, then it breaks out, the last up close before the down move right here. Okay, price has not traded to that level. I'm not sure why, but I know that candle is small, so I'm not sure if we would use this order block, but it's technically not the candle before the down move, so I'm a little unsure on that right there. Nonetheless, though, I am still working on my understanding, and eventually I will find out. As for the order block, that is, a definitive thing here. And I'm just going to move it back because that's what makes more sense. Actually, sorry, I don't even know I discredited myself there. Yeah, we can definitely expect. All right, I'll just put it like this. I'm looking here, okay? We have these equal lows and then price trades below them to take sell side. This is where we came from. We have this consolidation and now expansion move. So currently we have this large displacement and that's why we've seen price trading lower, but this would still be our order block. So I'm not indecisive about that. These are also relative equal lows. That's why I marked this level of sell side. And we do have this order block here. So now let's go ahead and get down to our higher time frame analysis, which I know that's a higher time frame, but I'm talking about day and under now. All right, so here we are. And a lot of these ideas are exactly the same as yesterday, but I want to talk about the price action that I predicted, which is that price is going to continue going into this range, right? That I would not expect prices to go lower, and that I'm expecting price to trade into this range. A few things. We do have some high impact news drivers tomorrow, I believe. Let me check. That's Thursday. Okay. So we have unemployment claims in the morning. All right. We'll see if that is enough to drive price to that volume imbalance right here. Okay. But for that, we know that this is a order block. This is the same thing. This is a up close candle before the down move. And if we go to here, give me one moment. Make sure get set at. That was Tuesday, October 24th. Okay. So here we are, consolidation, these very relative equal highs. These are not individually marked, okay, but these are very relevant in terms of liquidity. We pair that with this volume imbalance, and I'm actually going to refine this high and put it here with these relative equal highs. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm going to put that there. So right now, we would be at the point like at an order block trading this entire range. This is not high probability. We're also this like right here, this imbalance and everything. This is pretty much at equilibrium, and equilibrium means there's a 50-50 chance that the market can go each way. So would I be trading in this scenario? Not really. Would I be waiting and demanding more information? Correct. And again, my anticipation of where price will deliver is correct. So that's an amazing thing. Same exact thing here, okay? I am still looking in terms of, where the liquidity is. I am seeing that, on the weekly, right? Here, let me go here. Okay, on the weekly, here we go. Here's the order block on the weekly consolidation expansion move. Last down candle before that, we did trade to that order block, and now we are seeing higher prices from the trading that order block. We're seeing a reaction to that. All right, so we'll see, exactly how far that goes, but let's again, on our monthly, okay. The monthly levels are what's really going to drive price, and ultimately, well, we do have that order block. We know price will return there later. Doesn't necessarily matter how long. It's still an order block. It's still a level of institutional buying. When we get on the monthly, of course, it's a little more refined, and we can then see that this would actually be the order block, or this would be the last up close candle before the downward expansion. Meaning, and the reason I'm pointing this out, sorry, is that we are still expecting lower prices. Well, we'll see kind of what price wants to do at equilibrium. That would be the next idea, is for price to continue moving to this order block before continuing lower. And of course, if it violates an order block, or that point, these order blocks are supposed to act as a support or resistance, if you will, in the sense that they're meant to hold price. The reason for that is, while everyone is selling, and selling, all right, smart money will be accumulating their positions at these old lows, and they will be placing their long positions there. All right, so let's go. I almost lost my train of thought. Let's go to the 4 hour. All right, and we're just gonna break through this real fast. Here we go. This is the displacement leg I was talking about. All right, that's around 10 a.m. Let's get back here to news driver. 10 a.m. That's when the news driver was. 10 a.m. and 8:15. So hold on. This is, well, we'll have to go to a lower time frame to see it, but this is our weekly. All right, and we're seeing how close we are getting to these relative equal highs. Even though we have these objectives, again, really need to see what price is going to do. Is going to come up here and return to an order block, and in that case, we're violating these up close candles, so that would be low probability, or that would be a high resistance liquidity run. We would need a lot of liquidity to run these different highs or these different candles. So again, just paying attention to that. Let's go down to hourly. Obviously, we can now refine these more. Here we go. 8 a.m. We know we had that impact news driver. Displacement in the form of a busy. All right. Same thing here. Now, I did also mark this order block. All right. And the reason I marked this is for one of two reasons. All right, we're going to see how price reacts as it continues higher. I'm simply waiting on the sidelines. Now, what I am looking at here is this, again, just very aggressive displacement leg. So the idea here is that price will tomorrow, when we open, it's going to trade to this order block. That's what I'm anticipating. Price will trade to this order block and then continue higher. If it will. Now, if we just take this liquidity overnight and then we, trade below that order block, which this should be supporting price, okay, then that will direct or change our idea. All right, and of course, a lot of this is transposed, so I won't take too much time going through the NASDAQ as well. All right, but listen, same exact thing. Displacement candle here, obviously large aggressive movement today. That's the daily candle. All right, that's in the form of a BISI. We can definitely, regardless, anticipate that to be traded to later because it is inefficient. It was inefficiently delivered. All right, this is also an order block here on the 4 hour. Okay, this right here, this down close, consolidation down close for the up move. So we have to keep that objective in mind as well. And this is really aggressive. But additionally, okay, on the 4 hour here, this is the last up close, so consolidation, last up close before the down move, and we are currently in that order block as well. So that's part of the reason I'm again, holding out. I'm waiting to see what will happen. Okay, let's go to the 1 hour. Look at the weekly range. All right, just a lot of the same stuff here. And we'll go through that here in just a second, but in terms of the weekly range, is there much to be said? No, we can, look at the same times, like 8 a.m. news driver. Okay, this is afternoon, so that's like 1 p.m. So around 2 p.m. Around 2 p.m. Another two high impact news drivers. That would have been, okay, so that's just a little bullish candle, but then afterwards, that's when we have the aggressive movement with those news drivers. So we'll see how aggressive, it wants to be tomorrow. And then last thing, wrap up today, lower time frame. Again, we're gonna go here to the 15-minute, and it's the same thing as we've seen all week. These are clean lows. These sell side objectives have remained intact, but we see pretty much all week we see this kind of price action, all right, where we create a low. So we have the open, okay, this one created the high, open, this one created the high, open, creates the high, creates the low. All right, listen, open, well, this actually created the low before the high, and this open, this created the low before the high. All right, but regardless, the point is higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. Okay, lower low. This is sell side intact, sell side intact, sell side intact. Okay, and these right here, right, we're currently above this previous high. What's above previous high? Buy stops. Okay, another thing that we're keeping in mind when we're looking here on the 15-minute time frame. But that all being said, let me go ahead and conclude this and summarize overall what I'm doing and what I'm thinking right now. Okay, let's go back to the daily and I'll wrap this up. All right. So here we are. We measure the current range. Oops. Right? Current range, equilibrium, order block. Okay, we've been constantly seeing down move. This was already the past idea. Rebalance this price leg. Okay, now that we're here, we're waiting. That's the idea right now. The idea is we're waiting to see if price wants to move into a premium. If it does, we would wait for it to get to optimal trade entry before moving into a discount. All right, and then obviously the same is vice versa. All right, we'll see how price wants to react to, you know, these levels of resistance. Regardless, that would still be a high resistance to liquidity run, meaning that there's resistance in the form of these bullish candles here and here. Okay, so that's not good in terms of probability, which is really what we're looking for, a high probability. That all said, I'm going to leave it there and see you tomorrow.